But yeah, we can talk about the Minx stuff. It was on Wine About It, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. Wrong wine. Maybe the episode hasn't gone up. Where she talked about what happened with Minx. It was the Prime Matthias. It was the Fear Ann podcast. Ah. I saw the clips on Twitter. I assumed it was on YouTube, but I guess not yet. But, yeah. I don't like talking about Minx. That's been like a really sad situation. She's clearly someone that needs legitimate help. I'll pull up a tweet or two to talk about it. No, I don't want to get too deep into it because she's literally an alcoholic who needs rehab ASAP. It's ruining her life. It was in the lowlights.
Watched my content, you've seen Minx and I used to be very close, and now I've separated myself from her completely. However, this is a person that I did used to care about, even though I do feel as though I've lost her. I don't recognize her anymore as a human. Not like as a human, but I'm saying like she's not the same person when I talk to her. I do not know what happened.
Really appreciate it, champ. Thank you for the 5 gift subs,
suffers
Lewis.
from mental health issues. I am not kidding you when I say I've tried to do everything. And anyway, she reaches out to me out of the blue a few weeks ago and brings up Streamer Awards, and I have a moment where I think, you know what, this is again a person I really have cared about for so many years. I'm going to give her another chance. And I said, Minx, because she told me she bought tickets for the balcony. I said, Minx, you can come sit on the floor with all the other streamers. You have to promise me one thing. And she was like, what? Anything. And I said, do not drink.
So you can see where everything went wrong. Thanks to Prime Bubsy. Minx has had a known problem with alcohol. It's something that she struggled with, something she's talked about before, something a lot of people had tried to get her help with. Unfortunately, it seems to be no avail. At the Streamer Awards, specifically at the after party, I believe, she was absolutely fucking hammered. Apparently annihilated. To the point where I guess, at least based on the clips I've seen of XQC's stream, she was like smashing up the house, like very rambunctious. She was like trying to throw people in the pool. Eventually, I think they had to get like assistance, and she ended up in the hospital, where she claimed that she had been pushed and had a seizure and was in the hospital being treated for seizures. And people said, that's not exactly what happened. Nobody pushed you, and it wasn't a seizure. XQC claimed that she was like borderline fucking unresponsive when help arrived.
I'm pretty sure like the fire trucks get there first, but she was just completely unresponsive, right? Before the dudes get there and it's starting, you know, like doing a thing yet. Well, I sat down and I tried to be like, you know, yo, are you there? And try to connect and see if she's around, you know, like there. And well, I'm telling you, she just wasn't. It was just GG.
So after that, after the help arrived, the party was shut down. I think I read somewhere it was about some deal with the venue where things wouldn't get out of control. Clearly, since Minx was this fucked up, things were a little out of control, and they were forced to leave. Thus, the after party had to get shut down. GG, as XQC elegantly puts it. So it's just been this huge thing. Minx clearly feels very bad about it. She keeps saying that she'll pay for the cost, but doesn't recognize that the cost isn't really the issue. It's you need help. You said you weren't going to drink. You drank. It was a problem. It's time to get help. That's the big thing. Well, when it comes to addiction, it's always like a mental thing. 100%. Like, yeah, addiction is a scary thing. Alcohol addiction, that's fucking terrifying. That ruins lives. It's a serious issue that requires professional help when it reaches that level. 100%. Yeah. It's a physical thing too. Well, I mean, yeah, obviously. Well, clearly, yeah. But it's not like it's only a physical thing. It's clearly a mental thing as well. It's serious. So hopefully this will be that wake-up call where she does get the help that she needs for it and gets better for it. Just a sad situation, though. If she was on weed, it wouldn't have been crazy. Why is it... This happens almost every time alcohol's mentioned on stream. People immediately be like, well, if only it was weed. What? Why is it like a head-to-head competition between alcohol and weed? Obviously, weed... Obviously, weed isn't going to have the same response as, like, alcoholism. Clearly. I don't even understand, like, the crossover. It's not like a fight, a battle, where it's one or the other. It has nothing to do with anything. Like, obviously, if she just loved smoking weed, it wouldn't have been the same set of circumstances, but it has nothing to do with fucking anything. Literally nothing. You could also say, if only she was addicted to RuneScape, she would have just been grinding on her phone instead of drinking alcohol. Like, it's a worthless statement. People bring it up because alcohol is legal and weed still isn't in a lot of places. Well, yeah, and that's stupid. I don't know how many times I need to say that that's stupid. Yes, I completely agree. But it's also, like, that has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. I'm not the regulator. I'm not making the laws, like this isn't a case, like, time to, legalize weed because of this instance or anything. It doesn't have anything to do with anything, with what we're talking about. Like, it's not, like, we're not in Congress right now, like, debating laws. One of the least talked about but worst addictions is an addiction to porn. That's actually adorable you said that because it immediately shows me you don't go on Twitter. Porn is debated more than fucking religion at this point. That is probably the most talked about addiction of all time. At least over the last year on the internet. At the very least. He should be proud he's not on Twitter. Oh no, I thought it was a good thing. That's why I tried to preface it by saying that I think that's great. Well, I didn't say great, I said cute. Means the same thing. But yeah. Just hoping that she'll get professional help. I think that's the most important part. Because that shit is no good. When was the last time I had a drink? 4 years ago, I think. Somewhere in that ballpark. Probably close to 4 years now. Yeah, thanks. 4 years sober. Very cool. What made you stop drinking? I've said this on stream, I'll say it again. The whole, like... Whenever I answer the question about that, I always use the word sober because everyone always responds with, like, congrats, super proud, making it sound like I did something, like, huge for myself, when that was never the case. I never had, like, an alcohol problem. It was only ever, like, weekend binge drinking throughout college and a little into my adult years, but, like, 4 years ago, I was like, I'll just focus on, like, overall health, so I'll stop drinking. That was it. That was literally it. I was just like, I don't need it. It's healthier if I don't, so I'll just stop.